All right, get ready to meet a true force for joy on this episode of Almost Above Average. Today's guest, Lee Vugrenes, knows firsthand that happiness isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you create every day. From an average 6'3" Korean guy with a Yugoslavian last name, raised in Montana with a Hawaiian spirit, Lee's story is anything but ordinary. Orphaned at 10 and adopted at 12, Lee transformed a tough beginning into purpose-driven life, developing his signature happiness energizer formula, a blend of mindset mastery, action habits, and heartfelt connection that is transforming lives everywhere, including my own. As a coach, speaker, and author, Lee inspires business leaders and go-getters to ignite that kind of happiness and fulfillment that success alone can't deliver. His simple truth: happiness and purpose are choices anyone can energize, rooted in love, alignment, and truth. Lee lives by Zig Ziglar's timeless advice: if you help enough people get what they want, you will be able to get what you want. And it's time to discover how you, too, can create something extraordinary. Performance and purpose united. Let's build a future that matters together right here with Lee Vugrenes, the happiness energizer. Lee, my man, how are you? Thank you so much for doing that.
I appreciate that awesome, beautiful introduction. And, if I may say, powerful introduction. Wow. Impressive.
I really tried. I mean, I was very impressed when I met you. You had this crazy amount of this crazy happy energy that it was very infectious. So I really appreciate it. I tried to do the intro in a way that would give that light.
For sure. That's why I said I appreciate you. And if I may, you did not try, my brother. You succeeded.
That's
You
it.
absolutely succeeded. So just wanted to
That's
acknowledge
right.
you for that.
I appreciate you helping me out with that. I need to remember my words. I don't always think about it when I'm talking. You and I were talking about that at the conference in New Jersey a couple weeks ago, where I met you.
Yes, for sure. And like we were talking about before, right? Just for the audience here, I just want to remind people that words carry energy. Whether you believe that or not, that really is the truth. Words carry energy. And you know how people use these words a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Worry. Saying things like, no worries. Don't worry
Consistently.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or other people love this word too. Stress. Oh, I'm so stressed about this. Me, I don't even like to use those words, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm just kind of illustrating it, right? When you say those words, it impacts you negatively. And I bet you anything, if I were to ask any one of you, when you use the words worry, stress, they don't make you feel good. I bet all of you would agree, including you, right, Chris?
Every time.
Exactly. So, my recommendation, first and foremost, be aware of those words that don't make you feel good in the moment. Anything that don't make you feel good, just stop it. Simple as
Just stop it.
that. Simple. But you have to be aware of it. That's the reason why I'm sharing that with you right now, so that you can be aware. And then, from there, remove those words that don't bring out good energy and replace them with something that will provide benefit. And Chris, if you're good, may I offer a different word that you could potentially use?
Please.
Yes. Instead of using the words like stress and worry, even though it's good intention, right? Don't worry about it. No worries, right?
Right.
Do you know what I tell people? I say,
Hmm.
I'm not worried. Why are you asking me why are you telling me no worries? Don't worry about it. I mean, I appreciate the kind words, but
I'm already not worried.
I don't even use that word myself
Right.
because it doesn't bring good energy, right? So instead of that word, I recommend to people to use the word focus. Instead of don't worry about it, I'm stressed about this, use the word focus. I'm so worried about this, I'm so stressed about this. Instead of that, use, hey, I'm focused on something positive. I'm focused on finding the solution. I'm focused on what will benefit me. If you use the word focus, there's a good old saying, right, that says, what you focus on tends to expand.
Hmm.
What you focus on tends to expand. As an illustration,
Right.
if you have a little pain on your knee, right? If you constantly focus on that pain on your knee, guess what? The pain's going to expand. And you may even recognize pain in other places in your body
Right.
because you're focused on the pain, right? But on the flip side, if you focus on you feeling good, man, that also expands as well. That
Right.
totally expands. So what you focus on tends to expand. So why not focus on using the words that benefit you, that serves you, so that you'll feel a lot better and become
I know
better.
why. Because it's a habit. All of our current language, we have to unlearn our habits
Yeah.
to refocus, replace our words. So that's something I have to work on.
Yeah. And
How did
beautiful.
you come to that realization when? Because at a certain point, you had to have been using all these words too,
Oh,
right?
1000%.
Right.
1000%. And it is because I became aware first, right?
Mhm.
Awareness is the first place for change and transformation. Because if you aren't aware, you're not going to make the changes, right?
Right.
So because when you and I met, you became aware of these things, you chose, not just decide, but you chose and decided to make the change from that point on.
Right.
And that's why you look handsomer, you look brighter from the time that you and I met. So I just want to
Right.
acknowledge you for that, bro. That's phenomenal, man. You got so much more energy than the very first time. I didn't say you didn't have energy when we first met.
No, no, no.
You're way more energetic right now than when we first met.
Well, there's something to it about you too. It's like I know I'm gonna have to talk to you, and I'm like that makes me happy inside, and I'm like, all right, I want to make sure I at least match the energy that he's gonna bring because I already know a level that you're going to bring. you know, after talking with you for 10 minutes in New Jersey, you know. But
Yes,
tell us the story about Lee. Where did Lee come from? How did Lee get to be the happiness energizer, and where does the name come from too?
beautiful. I appreciate you asking me that question. So that whole background you shared with me, right, or shared with the world here,
Mhm.
I just tell people I'm just your average. I use that word on purpose.
He's a big man.
Because 6'3" is pretty big, especially for a Korean guy, you know?
Absolutely.
6'3" Korean guy with a Yugoslavian last name who grew up in the great state of Montana with a Hawaiian wannabe attitude. Now, that whole background is actually true because I was actually born an illegitimate child in Korea,
Okay.
which meant had I stayed in Korea way back then, I was born in the 70s, by the way, and I'm sure some of you might be saying, "Oh, you're lying." Well, I appreciate you. If you want me to buy you lunch, I guess maybe that's the reason why you're giving me the compliment, or that's what you're thinking. But,
Please drop your comments here if you want to buy Lee lunch. Please do.
but the companies and even actually colleges check your family history to see whether you are legitimate enough to go to the college or work for the company.
In Korea?
Yes, way back then when I was growing
Okay.
up. So I don't know what it's like now, but back then it was. If I didn't have very good family history, me being an illegitimate child, I would not have had any opportunity to go to a good college nor work for a great company because of
Hmm.
my family history.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, had I stayed in Korea, I may have created something, but more than likely not, right? Well, thankfully, and I say thankfully very purposefully here, my dad placed me in the orphanage at age 10. Now, you might be thinking, thankfully, dad placed you in
Yeah,
the
that was a weird
orphanage?
statement. I was still trying to wrap my head around that.
Here's the thing my dad, when I was 9 years old, he came over to my house because I was an illegitimate child. My dad already had a family, and he had another life with me and my mom. So he was living a double life. Well, once that got discovered, the support from my dad got cut off. So my mom couldn't support me on her own, so she started dating other guys. Well, once my dad found out, he literally came over to my house one night. I can still remember that very clearly. Me and my mom, we were having a great time as we normally do. We were watching a TV show. I think it might have been a TV show that might have been scary. I can't recall exactly because what transpired was way scarier. Me and my mom were watching this show, and all of a sudden, I remember our front door literally flung wide open, And I remember turning my head and looking over, and the only way that I could describe that scene was a very scary, angry, drunken dragon. That is the only way that I can describe that image that I'm seeing right now. Now, that dragon, when he saw me, he shifted his gaze from me to my mom. And as soon as he saw her, he literally went straight over to her and started beating on her senselessly. I was 9 years old.
Ugh.
I was scared to death. But seeing my mom there, getting beat up by this angry, scary, drunken dragon, I couldn't let her get beat up like that. So I remember seeing that and running over in front of this scary dragon and said, "Stop!" And this dragon, he was kind of shocked. And within a short second, when he was in that state of shock, my mom crawled over to the other room. As soon as he saw that, he went after her again to the second room. And then once again, started beating on her. I went over there one more time and I said, "Stop!" And he pushed me away and started beating on her again. Mom was able to get to the third room. Now, in this third room, this was my study room. There was a desk and a chair on that corner and folded blankets over on the right hand side. And when I went into that room, I remember seeing my mom get beat up by this dragon again. She was pressed up against those folded blankets. And I remember this dragon pulling out a small knife and putting it up against her throat and said these words: "If you ever do this ever again, I will kill you, bitch."
Mm.
As soon as I heard those words, I was standing there looking at this, hearing this. My mind went blank. I literally blacked out standing there. And once I regained my consciousness, there wasn't anyone else in the room. And I was still scared shitless.
Do you black out? You blacked out from the just the stress of the situation, right?
Yes. Yes.
Not from being hit by him.
No. I mean, I was just pushed by him. That was it.
Man, that is. Thank you for sharing that. That is a rough story. I'm
And
sorry you had to go through that. I'm
and
sorry your mom had to go through that.
I appreciate the kindness you're sharing with me. But and I'll share with you in a little bit why I was thankful. Okay. So I know I'm just making a short story a little bit longer because that's the way I like to do things.
This is a
Right?
podcast, bro. Do as
Exactly.
long as you want.
But after I regained my consciousness, I didn't see anybody. So I looked outside. I tried to find my mom and I couldn't find her anywhere. And when I went out, this dragon had started a big fire in our front yard. And I remember him throwing my clothes, mom's clothes, and I remember him throwing in a TV. And I also remember him throwing my Cub Scout uniform, which I absolutely loved. I loved that Cub Scout uniform. I remember him throwing that in there. This angry, scary, drunken dragon, whom I call my own dad. I said, Dad, please stop. And all he could tell me was, go out and find your mom and bring her back. I was 9 years old, man. I
Dude.
was 9 years old in the middle of the freaking night. I remember crying, going outside, trying to find my mom. I remember saying, Mom, Mom, but the words didn't actually come out. I just formed the mouth shape of me calling out Mom, but words weren't coming out. It was just simply,
Because you were terrified, right?
exactly. What seemed like forever just trying to find my mom. I couldn't find her. So I came back. I said, Hey, Dad, I can't find Mom. Please stop. And what he told me was, go out and find her. Because if you don't, you won't have a place to live tomorrow.
Jeez.
So after that, I just went straight over to my grandma's house, which wasn't really that far. But in that much fear, I, yeah, I wasn't moving very fast, let me tell you that. But once I got to my grandma's house, she saw me, hugged me, and I cried until I fell asleep in her arms.
Did you find your mom?
Truthfully, not that night. In all honesty, I don't remember a whole lot that happened after that, to be honest with you. The,
Yeah.
the next thing that I remember is me being sent away to go live with this dragon called my dad and his
Oh my
family
gosh.
because my mom couldn't afford to support me on her own.
Yeah.
So I went and lived with my dad and his family for a year.
His other family or
Yes,
his.
his other family.
Oh man. That had to be awkward.
Extremely,
Extremely.
extremely, bro.
Yeah. That is weird.
And after being there for a year, which I don't remember a whole lot at all because I think the trauma blocked out a lot of the stuff, obviously,
Right.
right? After that, my dad called me in one day and said, Hey, my Korean name was Kisung. He said, Kisung, hey, Kisung, you have an opportunity to go to America. Do you want to go? I said, Yes, please send me. And I think he was going to do that anyway. I think the only reason why he asked me is to get himself feeling a little bit better.
Like he was giving you an opportunity to make up for some of the things that he's done.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I said yes, and that's why he put me on the bus by myself when I was 10 years old. He didn't actually take me there. He put me on a bus by myself when I was 10 years old. And that
Jeez.
bus took me to 3 to 4 hours away from my house. And people from the orphanage picked me up from the bus station to take me to the orphanage. That's how I became an orphan at age 10. So one reason why I said I was thankful is because I didn't want to live in fear anymore at home.
Right.
I didn't want to live with someone that destroyed my home in one single night.
Hmm.
So that's the reason why I was thankful. Now, the orphanage is not the funnest place to be in, if I'm being
I can't
honest.
imagine. I can't imagine it would.
It wasn't. I went through a lot of abuse. I went through sexual abuse even.
Mm.
It was not the funnest place to be. But after being there for about a year and a half, I was able to get adopted by a family up in Montana with a Yugoslavian last name. And that's the reason why I got the whole 6'3" Korean guy. Thankfully, my dad and mom had great genes, so. Or I tell people, I grew up next to a nuclear power plant up in Montana. I didn't grow any horns or tails. I just grew up to be 6'3".
Right.
Pick whichever story you like.
So you were what, 10, like 10 years old when you got to the orphanage?
When I was 10, yes, and then I got adopted when I was 12 after about a year and a half.
Nice. How did you go about meeting your adopted family?
So that took a little bit. I, if I may share a little bit about my American parents for a little bit
Please do.
first. Me growing up in Korea, I've never even seen a plane. It wasn't even flying over where I grew up. I hadn't even seen a single plane in Montana, in Korea before I went to Montana. So on the day that I was supposed to get adopted, I go to the airport, I see this huge plane, right?
Mhm.
And I get on this humongous plane that which I've never
You're like,
seen
what is
before.
this? What is
Yeah,
this thing gonna do?
I had no idea. I'm
Yeah.
a little farm boy, right?
Right.
So from there, I go to LA. I found out this later, obviously. And then from LA, I get on a smaller plane and go to Seattle.
Mhm.
Now, my dad wasn't there in LA. He met in Seattle. So when I got off, there he was. And then from there, we took another plane from Seattle to
Your Korean dad or
my
your
American dad.
adopt?
My American
Okay.
dad. So he saw me. I went up to him. He took me to this uh, next plane from Seattle to Spokane
Mhm.
on a smaller plane, and then Spokane to Missoula on a smaller plane. So for a kid who's never even seen a plane, got to ride on in 4 different airplanes, right?
You got the whole experience all in one trip.
Exactly, right? So
Nice.
that was interesting. And then
Yeah.
when we got to it was December 29th, by the way, when I got to America. So I call that my American birthday. I like to have as many birthdays as possible. So
Amen, brother.
and plus, I tell people I have birthday every day because I get to open my 2 gifts every morning.
Your eyes?
Exactly.
I know.
So every day's my birthday, bro. Every day's my
Oh,
birthday.
I'm picking up on your mental here a little bit.
I love it. I love it. So, and then when we got to the Missoula airport, my dad had his car there. Well, it's actually it's a small pickup truck, Toyota pickup truck. And that's the first time I've been in a personal vehicle because I didn't know people drove personal cars.
Yeah.
Growing up in small town in Korea, so I had no idea. So I had the whole gamut of experiences just from that,
Very culture shocky when you first got here, huh?
for sure, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And what was interesting for me was I was trying to prove to my dad that I knew some English, right? I tell people I speak broken English, not English, broken English on purpose for fun of it, right?
He's
So
self-aware and funny.
exactly. So in my broken English, I remember reading a sign that says COEUR apostrophe D, a lean, right?
Coeur d'Alene?
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, but I had no idea they had French words mixed in with English. How would
Yeah,
I know?
that one's weird.
How would I know? So I remember going, I'm gonna make him proud, right? I
Right.
said, Coerdialine, right? Thinking I did great, right?
Right.
I'm probably sure. I'm sure he's going. What the
The
hell
hell
is
did
this
you just
saying?
say?
But I was pretty proud that because I read my first word in English in America, right?
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But little did I know, there are a lot
Way
of
off. You were way off, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the part that I wanted to get to is this: when I went to the house, first thing is first. In the orphanage, I was told that everyone that gets to go to America or lucky enough to go to America went to a rich family, kind of like Daddy Warbucks in Annie, right?
Okay.
Very wealthy. That was the impression that I had.
You were excited. You're like, sweet. Where's Bruce Wayne, my parents? Yeah.
Exactly, man. Humongous mansion. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, expecting, right? I go to this place, and these are 2 trailers put together with a roof over it. And I'm going, wait a minute.
Where's my mansion?
Yeah, it doesn't match. What is up?
Yeah. Right.
And part of me was thinking, wait a minute, maybe this is the, one home. Maybe they have another big home somewhere else, right?
Yeah. This is just one of their homes.
Well, it didn't happen.
Well, good.
But the part that I really want to mention here is this. I remember Dad opening the door for me to go inside. I walked in, and as soon as my mom saw me, she literally ran over to me and hugged me, coming down to my level and hugged me and said these words: I love you, Lee. Now, this lady, whom I didn't even know, whom I call my mom, I had never met her.
Mm-hmm.
When she said, I love you, Lee, I didn't believe her.
You didn't?
How could I?
Right.
I don't even know you. You don't even know
Right.
me. How could you love me?
Right.
She literally said, I love you, Lee, every day, at least for 6 months. I don't think I said, I love you, Mom, back once during that time because I couldn't,
You were dealing with trauma still,
big
and
time.
yeah.
I found out I was that trauma even affected me, all the way up until a little bit ago.
Yeah,
Some of the trauma, residual trauma that was left over, which I thought I resolved, was impacting me even now, right?
I get it. Yeah.
But that experience, after that experience, what I realized was my mom actually loved me even before she met me. Because
It's a
what had
different kind of
happened
love.
was that
It's a different kind of love
big time. It
that
is.
you were used to, right?
I mean,
Your
truthfully,
mom loved you, right? And your dad
yes,
loved you.
they Korean parents love me, but they never said I love you because that wasn't the way they expressed love back then.
It's a culture thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
They just showed love through action. But the way
Hmm.
that my dad showed me action was obviously not the best.
Yeah. Mhm.
But what had happened was when I was in the orphan, I was supposed to be in America a lot sooner. But what happened was that in the orphanage, in the catalog, Sears catalog, that's what I tell people. They found me in a Sears catalog because there was a little picture of me, and they
I
looked at the
want
picture.
that one.
They really did. They read the description and they go, "Oh, this is what I want."
He's tall. This one's tall.
Exactly, and he looks smart too.
Yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
in the catalog, they put me as Ki Sung, which is my Korean name, Kim instead of Lee. My name is Ki Sung Lee, but somebody put it as Kim. Because of that, I was lost for about 6 months.
Really?
Yes,
Because of a data entry error?
exactly.
Wow.
So in the process of them wanting to adopt me, this kid was gone suddenly. My mom cried. It was almost as if losing her own, right?
Hmm.
And she told the the people that, hey, I don't want to adopt ever again. But after several months later, they kind of talked her into saying, "Hey, there's another kid that's similar. It's not the same kid, but there's a similar kid. Would you mind? Would you be open?"
Yeah.
And she finally consented to that. And when they saw my picture, and she saw my picture, she goes, "This is the kid."
Yeah, I was gonna say it was you, right?
So when
That's
I heard that
beautiful.
story, I realized how much she loved me even
What
before
a
she even
beautiful
met me.
story.
Yes, I'm telling you, Chris, that love that she had, that love transformed my entire life, man. That love literally reshaped my entire life. And one of the biggest reasons why I am the way I am is because of that love. And I believe that love is the most powerful and transformational force to the core for anybody. That's my personal belief because of my mom's love and what it did for me. And that's what I wanted to share with you.
You've been sharing it with me since I met you, and I appreciate that.
Mhm.
How did you take your mom's love and transform it into this happiness energizer that you are today?
Yeah.
Was it your
Interesting.
mom's love only, or was there other things that happened?
So we have to kind of step back a little bit, if we may, right?
Sure.
Because you asked me about me going back to Korea. So let me
Right.
address that first, okay?
Okay.
And then I can talk about the happiness energizer. You go with that?
Yep.
Beautiful. So because of my mom's love, I was able to accept God into my life because I didn't believe in God. The orphanage that I was at was a Catholic orphanage. They said believe in God, God is loving, all this kind of stuff, right? I'm going, God is loving?
Look at what he did to me.
Right. That's funny, right? Really funny. He's
Yeah.
so loving. Yeah. He made me go through all that trauma. By the way, I use the word made me on purpose. Okay.
Okay.
He made me go through all that trauma. He caused all these issues in my life. He caused me to be alone, felt completely lost, unloved, unwanted. Oh yeah, he's a loving God. He loved me so much, he gave me all these wonderful things. I could not believe it.
Loneliness.
What's that?
Loneliness.
Complete loneliness, right? Including all the abuses. Man, he's so loving. He gave me all these great things, right?
Right.
I could not believe in a fact that there was a loving God that would allow me to go through all of the trials, all the suffering, all the hardships.
Right.
I could not accept it. But when I started feeling my mom's love, truly feeling it in my heart, I remember after about 6 months, when she said, I love you, Lee, I remember going out the door really quick because I felt guilty, man, to be honest. I felt guilty not being
Not
able to do
saying
that.
it back to her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet.
Finally, as I was going out, I said, I love you too,
What do
Mom.
you do? What do you do? Yeah. And I'm sure that melted her heart.
I don't know. I'm sure it did, more than
Yeah.
likely.
You got to ask her.
Well, she's not with us anymore, so I
Oh, I
can't
apologize.
really. but yeah, that was a turning point for me because I was finally able to accept, not only accept love and be able to give back. It may not have been as sincere, but it was my way of showing her that I loved her in a very quick, half a second way, you know?
Yeah. Let me too.
But because of that love, it opened up the love that God had for me. I was able to find it, feel it for the first time. That was when I was about 16.
16.
Yes,
Wow.
after about 4 years.
I'm having trouble picturing a super positive 16-year-old ever.
You say I was positive. I just was
Okay,
able to accept. I was able to
Got
accept.
you. Okay. You had some internal work going on. All this positive stuff is coming later, probably.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. But once I found God's love in my life, man, things started shifting dramatically. Man, I became the valedictorian of my high school. I became the captain of my basketball team. I was excelling at everything that I did, right?
Nice.
Even with my broken English.
It's very good.
And even though, granted, my girlfriend makes fun of me because when I was in my sophomore year, I got a B plus in my English.
What a loser.
Right? That's what she says. She goes, I got straight A's and more.
Coming from a straight B student. You know what I mean?
She goes, I should have never told her that because she's gonna take that to her grave. I'm telling you.
Right.
She's going, you got a B plus. I got straight A's.
Yeah. Anytime you get introduced into a big crowd of people you're trying to impress, she's going to be like, hey, I got this thing. Remember, you say your words right or I'm going to drop this bomb on you.
She does it anyway.
That's a good relationship right there.
I know. She and I have a beautiful relationship. It's so fun, man.
Nice.
But
I
yeah.
love that.
But having all those accomplishments, it was a huge blessing in my life. I feel so thankful, right? And because of that love, when I was 19, after I graduated from high school, I decided to go serve my God in Korea as a missionary. That's how I got to go back to Korea.
Okay. Nice.
And before, I wasn't sure whether I'd ever go back to Korea. So 3 years after I got here in America, I remember trying to read a Korean book and I couldn't read it. And I remember thinking, oh well, I'm not going to go back to Korea anyway. What do I care?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But obviously God had other plans.
Because of that comment you made when you were young, God's like, nope, you're going to learn Korean again, I promise.
Right? So yeah, when I was 19, I went back to Korea and served God for 2 years in Korea, sharing God's word to Korean people.
How was your experience on your mission?
Bro, it was phenomenal. I could literally write a whole book about that just for that experience.
You should. Let's do it.
Why are you shooting on me, man? Don't be shooting on me.
I should everywhere, man. I'm a should the heck out of everything.
Man, right? A lot of people shoot on themselves, right? Or shoot on other people. They do.
They do.
Yeah, I remind people, hey, you should be shooting on yourself. But let me
Everybody
shoot on you
should
for a
me
little
too.
bit.
I get shooted so often. Everyone knows what I should do. I should stop doing that.
But yeah. So because of that experience, I was able to have a great experience, phenomenal experiences. I felt God's love so strong in my life, even though toward the end of my mission, I had appendectomy and they had surgery and they cut my artery off. So I almost died. I was that close to dying on my mission.
Man, what's going on there?
But I wasn't blaming anyone or anything. I was just thankful to be alive because
Right.
after that, I went back and met my mom and dad.
Yeah.
After
How was
two
that?
years. After 2 years, man.
How was that reunion? Very loving.
With my mom, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
My mom thought she would never ever see me ever again. So, because of that guilt of letting her only son leave, she never had any more kids because of that guilt.
Were you able to give her some relief?
Oh yeah, and I still do.
Great.
So when she saw me, obviously she was shocked to get a call from me, right?
Right.
Because she thought she'd never ever hear from me. And I spoke Korean very well by then, after being there for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So when I got off the bus and when she saw me, because I mean, when I was leaving, I was about this big. When I came back, I was about this big, so a lot bigger.
You were extra large.
Exactly, but very skinny because of that surgery.
Right.
But but she literally looked at me up and down, and as soon as she recognized that it was me, she literally fell on the spot and she started bawling her eyes out.
Oh,
All she would say is, "I am sorry, Lee. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry." And she just cried the whole time. I feel like it was at least 30 minutes that she did that. She would not move. That's when I realized how much she loved me all these years.
hmm. Did you have any resentments with your mom over
Not toward
having
my
to
mom at
leave? And
all. Not toward
never.
my mama. Not one bit.
I love that.
Not one bit.
That's beautiful.
And so finally, once she regained her composure, we went to a restaurant and we had a great chat. And the last time she literally fed me was when I was 9 years
9.
old,
Mm-hmm.
right? And here I was a 21-year-old kid, and my mom would grab chopsticks and literally feed me like when I was 9 years old,
Making up for lost time, man.
Exactly right.
Oh,
And that was so heartwarming, and I felt so loved in that moment.
yeah. And you get to give her a little piece now, continuously now. So that
Yes,
that just warms my heart too.
yeah.
That's beautiful. How is she doing?
She, I mean, after that moment, she felt a lot better. But even after that, she kept on continuing saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I told mom, "There's no reason for you to apologize to me because what you gave me was the biggest gift. You decided to have me first and foremost, right? Because they didn't have to have me,
Right.
but they both chose to keep me. And for me to go to America and have all these phenomenal experiences, have another set of parents who love me, taught me what love is, what love feels like, which allowed me to find God in my life, and also to come back and share this love and this God's word with people in America. What a blessing, right?
Amen.
And have that gift of being reconnected with my mom and share that love and let her know there's nothing for you to ever feel quote unquote bad about what she did. Because the way I see it, she did it for me.
Right. And look at who you've become.
Exactly.
Right. Because of all those circumstances that you were a part of.
Absolutely right.
That is beautiful. What about your dad? How did that go?
So after I said goodbye to my mom, I went to my dad and I got off the bus once again. My dad once again looked at me up and down. He didn't say a word. He just turned around and said, "Come with me." Kind of cold, right? He
What were you thinking? Like he's got something good for me. He's going to talk to me. What's going on?
I had no idea, honestly. I had no idea.
Hmm.
When we went into the restaurant, he ordered a big meal for us to eat, and we just kind of chit chatted just basic stuff.
Small things.
Yeah, just to see what I was doing, where I was at, all this kind of stuff. What I was doing in Korea, all this kind of stuff.
Touching base, basically.
That was it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't know what to say, really.
That's what it sounds like. He was struggling to get the thing that he wanted to tell you out, right?
If he wanted to at all.
Ah,
But I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up. So this is what I told him. I said, "Hey, Dad, I want you to know I hated you for the longest time." He put his head down. I said, "Dad, can you please forgive me for hating you for so long?"
Oh my gosh. How do you do that? Sorry.
He literally went from here to here. All he could say were these words. They weren't even words. He just said, mm, mm, mm. That was it.
Man, that's powerful.
Because I felt guilty for hating him when I got all these great things happening in my life.
Right.
But at the same time, I had to bring it up. I said, "Hey, Dad," because I took that as him accepting my, you know, apology.
Right.
And I said, "Hey, Dad, remember that night?" As soon as I said that, he put his head down again
Ugh.
because he knew. "Hey, Dad, I want you to know that is the reason why I hated you for so long. But, Dad, I want you to know this. I forgive you completely."
Man.
Chris, man, I thought I felt pretty light. I thought I was pretty happy. But as soon as those words left my mouth, I felt so light. I felt like I could literally float, man. It was as if there was a huge weight that was on me all those years, 21 years of my life. And all of a sudden that just dissipated. It just disappeared out of my life completely. And that is the reason why I felt like I could float. That feeling, I cannot really describe in words how that feels unless you experience it for yourself.
That's a level of forgiveness that's hard to attain. I think.
It can be, but once again, if I may, Chris, you said it is hard to obtain. If you believe that it is hard, it will be.
That's true.
But now that you're aware, if you can kind of say, "Yes, I can. I will forgive." It's
Yes, I
easy for
can.
me to begin. It is easy for me to forgive. If you have that mindset and belief, you'll be able to do it.
I love that. You showed me a little practice when we first met because I tend to talk negatively about myself and I don't notice it a lot. And so you gave me a little practice that I've been doing every day now, actually.
And how is that
Not just in
shifted?
the mirror. I do it to myself. I talk to myself in my head
Beautiful.
and just give myself what do you call them? I tell myself I'm good. I tell myself I'm intelligent. I'm smart. I'm successful. I'm all of those things. I go through a whole list every day now,
That
just
is
to try to train that or to train that in.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
You
we're
already
working
got
on
yourself right there.
awareness, right?
Awareness, right? And
Yep.
how has that shifted and transformed you?
A lot. I've been having some success since I've been here. Like since I met you, I moved like the day after I got back from Jersey. So I'm trying to set up in a new city and
Mhm.
I have had success. I have found a lot of people in my community that need my services. So it's been great. It's been
That
really
is
great.
phenomenal.
And not just that practice. So I started a couple other new ones. Like in the morning, along with that practice, I also do like a 5 minute journal. Before I look at my phone or anything, I do 5 to 10 minute breath work, and then I do a journal, which is very intentional. Like, what am I doing today? Here's what I'm grateful today. Here's what I need to get done today. Here's what I want to get done today. Here's how I feel today. Like, and I kind of go through that, and I end it with the intentions for the day, and then I go about my day.
That is
But
phenomenal.
the what do you call those things when you tell yourself you're
Affirmations?
affirmations?
Yes.
Yeah, but those have been a definite part of my day every day, and I'm going to keep it.
That is beautiful, man. That is phenomenal.
All right.
And I do morning routines as well. And if I may share, since we're on
Please
that
do.
topic right now, So
Tell the people, Lee, we want to know from you. We're learning from you. And if you've made it this far on the video, thank you. Hit subscribe, please, and I appreciate
yes, please do.
it.
He wants shared with the world what you can do to become a better version of yourself so that you can enjoy
Yes,
your life more lovingly, fully, with greater love, joy, happiness, and peace in your life. It is possible. If a guy like me can do it, you certainly can. And Chris is standing for that. So I sincerely hope you subscribe to gain these valuable insights to benefit you and help you. So
absolutely.
going back to my morning routine.
Hmm.
As soon as I get up, the very first thing that I do, unless of course I have to go to the bathroom real quick, that's beside the point, you know, is gratitude. Gratitude is the one of the biggest keys, if not the biggest key to transformation. Because there's a saying that says the more thankful you are, the more reasons you'll be given to be thankful. So as an example, Chris, let's say you gave me a small gift, right? And I said, huh, thanks, man.
You
If I
hate
had
me.
that attitude, would you want to give me another gift?
No, you don't. You don't even like me. I don't think we talk anymore after that.
Exactly, right? But on the flip side, if I said, oh man, Chris, bro, I really appreciate this. I can't believe you thought about me and you gave me this. Thank you so much, bro. I don't know what's in this box, but I really appreciate you. Just the fact that you thought of me and gave me this gift. Thank you so much, bro.
I'm gonna go get you another one. I'm gonna go get another one.
That's the idea, right?
Right.
So whether you believe in God, because I personally do, whether you believe in the universe, the Buddha, whatever it might be, the more thankful you are, the more reasons you'll be given to be thankful. Just by that illustration, you can see why you being sincerely thankful, you'll be able to get more things in your life.
Right.
That's why gratitude is such a key in transformation. So for me, when I wake up, I say for the things that I'm thankful for as soon as I wake up. And then I drink my water. I love my water. 6'3" Korean body, it needs a lot of water, you
That
know?
boy needs a lot of water. Yeah.
So I hydrate myself. And
Okay.
then I go through, oh man, I just spaced his name. Savers. Oh my goodness. Um, Forgot the guy's name. The guy has a book, Miracle Morning.
Hmm.
Forgot the author's name, but he does Savers, Savers. S
Okay.
stands for silence, meaning meditation.
Yep.
A stands for affirmations. V is visualization. E stands for exercise. R, reading. S, scripting, meaning writing, right? But
Mm.
that's what I go through. Let me go back a little bit. Before I do that, just like you, Chris, I do breathing exercise.
Nice.
I do Wim Hof breathing exercise.
What is that?
Look him up. This guy's phenomenal, dude. Wim
What's
Hof.
his name?
Wimhof.
Wim. Okay.
Wim Hof. So I do
Wim.
his breathing exercise and then I go into that. Savers. Doing this transforms yourself first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And you're ready for the day. And just from what you shared with me, how
Yep.
does that make you feel to get
Oh,
on
it's
with the
such
day?
a level up. It's such a level up. Like the thing that has changed myself the most has been deciding what I'm doing in the morning. I started this 3 years ago, like
Mhm.
that I was gonna have a thing in the morning to where I start my day like that, and it has worked. And I've added to it over the last 3 years. You know,
Beautiful, man. Beautiful,
yeah.
man.
But it's definitely starting your day with intention. It's super important, at least for me.
Yeah. For
Right.
anybody, really. For
Should
anybody.
be. Well, most of us, let's talk about it. So, most of us, or at least how I was when before I decided to do it, I would get up, definitely look at my phone, probably check on, YouTube stats, TikTok stats, all that stuff. Um, Lay down some more, mill around, maybe go to the bathroom. Like there was no thought to my morning, and then leave with the bed unmade and clothes on the floor kind of thing.
Right.
Now, I've been following like Tony Robbins, and there's this other guy, this doctor guy I followed for a while,
Okay.
but he's all about just set something in order, like take chaos and make order out of it. Like if that's the first thing you do, whatever it is with your brain, make your bed, tidy something up, wipe something down, just to fix something that's wrong, because that'll kind of set you on a state to fix things throughout the day,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And if I may add to that a little bit,
Hmm.
Chris, fix something. Hey, fix something if it is broken,
Right.
right? And a lot of people say, I am broken. You've heard that before, right?
There is a epidemic of especially men feeling that way lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
a lot of people, a lot of men, they can't express their feelings. A
Hmm.
lot of people feel like a lot of men, especially too, and women included, and actually the kids too.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through this. They feel like they're broken. How is that serving you? How is that helping you? Thinking that
Right.
you're broken. Not one
You're
bit.
only reinforcing it to yourself.
Exactly. Right?
Right.
So when you said the word fix, that's what got me thinking about that, right?
You thought nothing was broken though, so there's another word to use, right? Like
You're
set in
whole.
order.
Whole. So for me, the way I see it is this. I believe I wrote a book called All Things for Your Own Good. All Things for Your Own Good. Subtitle is An Illegitimate Orphan Korean Boy's Keys to Happiness. Because
Hmm.
my feeling is this: if an illegitimate child like me, who was born illegitimate, that didn't have a whole lot of opportunities, who also was thrown away at age 10, didn't feel loved, lost, confused, whole gamut of negative emotions, who also went through, by the way, a divorce and for 5 long years didn't want to live.
Mm.
If a guy like me, which by the way, I did feel broken at that time, and that is the reason why I did not want to live for 5 long years. Because what's the point of living a life that sucks so much? What's the point of living a life where I feel broken, where I can't put myself back together? That's where it led me to thinking like I wasn't worth living. And I believe there are a lot of people, maybe some of you listeners, who feel that way. And I'm telling you right now, that is a lie. Stop lying to yourself because that is the biggest bullshit lie that you're telling yourself. You are worth way more. You're worth a ton. You are a treasure in your own life. Let me be the first one to tell you that. Because the reason why you're still here is because you're worth it, because you are needed, you're wanted. And that is the reason why you're here. I know that for a fact. Because had I given up on myself back then, I would not have been able to be here to show up for you, to listen to this message. I would not been able to have an impact. And I'm telling you, I have a huge impact on people. Everyone that I meet, I have a positive influence on them. And I've touched so many people's lives already. So if you're thinking about giving up, please stop. Please stop lying to yourself because you are needed, you are wanted, you are loved. And the first person that should love yourself is not anyone or anything outside yourself. It is you. So I just want to share that with you first and foremost so that you recognize your own value, so that you know you're valued, you're loved, you're wanted. Even if you don't believe me, even though I don't know you, I don't know who you are, I know that I got enough love to let you know that I love you.
Is it okay if we stay friends forever?
Absolutely, bro.
Great. Well,
Absolutely.
wonderful. I need to make sure I have very positive people in my life. That was deep, man.
Yes.
So what's Lee up to nowadays? What's your day look like now? What are you up to?
Oh, bro, I'm up to spreading greater love, joy, happiness, peace, fulfillment
All over my podcast. I love it.
all over the podcast, all over the world, man. Anyone that I meet, because I had the opportunity to meet that person, I like to spread more sprinkles of love, joy, happiness, and peace. That is my mission, vision, and purpose in my life. It's nothing grand like, providing peace to the regular all the world. That's not my thing, but by one person at a time. Anyone that I speak with, have the opportunity to speak with, that are open, I spread that.
Hmm.
And of course, me as a coach, speaker, and consultant in my world, in my business, that's what I do. I help people to recognize how truly valuable they are, how truly lovable they are, how truly awesome they are. I don't ask people, by the way, how are you? Do you know why?
I can see it.
Remember the question that I asked you the very first time you and I met. Do you remember that by any chance?
Um, no, it was something about standing around though, wasn't it? Or stretching?
We were stretching, right?
Right,
And then we had just so that I can relate with you, right? We
right.
had a little conversation about that. But as soon as you and I got centered, whatever that means, I asked you this question instead of "How are you?" I said,
How awesome
"How
are you?
awesome." I paused, by the way. I paused. You remember now, right?
Yep, I do.
How awesome I paused. Do you know what you were thinking about when I paused?
Hmm. No,
Whether you recognize it consciously or subconsciously, you were thinking about
he
awesome,
didn't say the thing that I was expecting. That's what I
right?
think.
Right. It was something different, right?
Right.
It's called pattern interruption.
I knew you were going to say that word just now. I don't know how. That's smart. That's clever. Very psychological when you're speaking to people.
On purpose, right? Because if you want to help somebody's energy, shift energy positively, that's what you want to do. Interrupt their patterns.
Right.
So I said, how awesome, paused, because you're thinking about awesome. What's awesome? Wait a minute, what are you going to say next? Right?
Right.
It got you curious about me too.
Yep.
It opens people's listening,
I'm
right?
going to steal that.
You don't need to sell it. I'm freely giving it to you, bro.
Well, I also have this thing where I have to feel like I'm being a bad boy, so I have to say steal. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Hey,
No.
if that works for you, feel free,
No.
man. Do what works for you.
Right. Well, where can everyone find you, Lee?
You can find me on my website, on my YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, all under the name of Happiness Energizer.
Happiness
Happiness
Energizer.
Energizer.
I think
Yes.
we'll link to it in the I'll link to all your socials in the show notes when I get this up. But
Sounds great.
man, we should turn this into a, I don't know, at least a monthly thing. You have such good energy. I like capturing it and spreading it to the world. That's what you're doing anyway.
For sure, man.
You know
Feel
what I'm
free to
saying?
reach out anytime, brother.
Oh,
Okay?
awesome.
Yeah.
That was a really deep story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, with all of us.
It's my pleasure,
Um,
bro.
I got I got a lot more out of it today. I love every time that I talk to you, Lee. It's incredible.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me over because
Absolutely,
I
man.
love
Maybe we'll
sharing.
do this live next time. I'm coming up to Jersey here in a couple of weeks, so maybe we can do another one. Are you going there?
Uh, well, in October 15th, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes, I'll be there for October 15th. Mhm.
cool. We'll try to. Well, we'll hook up anyway.
Sounds good, man.
But yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Almost Above Average. I'm Chris McIntyre. Thank you so much to Lee for showing us the Happiness Energizer, and I will link to him in the show notes. Any final words, Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said a lot,
You
obviously.
did.
Even in my broken English, I sincerely hope all of you could understand me because I'm telling you, I am fluent in happy. I am fluent happy speaker. Okay? So if you can't understand my broken English, feel free to use Google Translator because what I shared with all of you today is very valuable and can be transformational if you choose to apply it and become aware of it first and apply it in your own self and in your own life. First and foremost, to benefit you, and then to benefit those other people that are around you, those that you love, those that you serve. That is my recommendation.
Thank you so much, Lee. You have a great night, and we'll talk to you later, brother.
Sounds good, my brother. I really appreciate you. Stay awesome.